Oh, I got to get my microphone plugged. There we are. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Sound is working. This is great. Excellent. Just put that host over there. Perfect. Perfect. In our chat, wake that up. We'll put the chat over there. Fantastic. Great. Well, gang, we've got a few more minutes till we get started. Looking at the clock, 3 minutes. So just enough time to grab a glass of water, a cup of coffee. Have a look and see what the weather's doing outside. Is this going to be a fantastic selling day or what? Gorgeous weather today, tomorrow, throughout the weekend for the end of October. Oh my gosh, the time is just flying by. My wife has a countdown till Christmas. Apparently we are, wow, next week we will be 60 days till Christmas. Are you ready for that? Have you started your shopping? I haven't even got through Black Friday yet. We've got a big sale coming up for Black Friday, which is fantastic. That is always an exciting time of the year for those of us in the online space and offering courses and so on like that. It seems to be a great time of the year when everyone's looking at planning for next year and planning out their New Year's resolutions, I guess, early, but getting ready. The really smart ones get ready long before the New Year rolls around and those New Year's ambitions and promises are established. Wow, I can't believe how dirty my desk is. My apologies for working away here, looking down at all this stuff all the time. Hi, Carter. Good morning. Got my glass of hot water and lemon with me now. So if my mouth gets dry, I've got something to go to. That is important. Less than a minute now, gang, and we will get started. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Good morning, Mark. So glad to have you here. And Jen, and we've got Wes, and I would imagine Wendell Opti 3 is Mark. I would think that is super. And we got Alex. No, Mark is there. And Hamid, fantastic. Great. Wow, I'm fully expecting a good class today. Not going to be a huge class, not by any stretch, just judging by the time of the year, the week that we're currently in, end of the month. That obviously throws a wrinkle in it for some people. I can't believe that month end is a big thing right now still with our inventory shortages for some, but for others that have ground stock, it's time to get back to what we used to do, isn't it? All right, then. I would say that's it. We're underway. Let's get started. Good morning. Today, we're going to learn about how you can leverage various apps to maintain contact with shoppers. The point of all this is to be top of mind, to get those sales. If you've been through the manifesto, you're fully aware that anybody will trade their vehicle, but they just don't know who to trust and who to believe. So you need to be that name. Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, I'm going to buy a Jeep. I'm going to buy an F-150. I'm going to buy a Corolla. I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. Well, maybe Lamborghini, maybe they actually do that. But I do believe they wake up in the morning and they say, I'm going to go and buy a Silverado truck from Jen. So I'm going to teach you technology that will help you get more done in 4 hours than most do in a week, and some do in a whole month, and others never do this. Selling more does not mean working harder or working more hours either. I want to make that really clear. The technology piece is the opportunity to scale your prospecting efforts right here. This is a real opportunity to attract more buyers, not influenced by traditional advertisements. And by traditional advertisements, I mean those silly ads of low prices and no gross deals. I know they're going to be around again, but let's capitalize on it right now while they're not. And as I have taught before, you can get those customers with even when those silly ads exist. So the lesson that you will learn is how you can overcome feelings of overwhelm, exhaustion, replaced by enthusiasm, excitement, and energy. This is not about motivation. I really want to make that super clear, because motivation is not sustaining. You can get motivation at a step number 7 in the manifesto, and that's great. This session is about personal productivity, how to get more done in 4 hours than most do in a week, a month, and even a quarter of the year. So I'm Bill Harvey. For those of you that don't know me, owner and founder of this system, and I hope you're in a quiet place and only focus on me. You want to be sure to be taking notes, because these sessions are fast and they're packed with information. I like to talk fast. I get excited. I talk even faster. I will try to harness myself, restrain that, and stop at those really important parts for you to write down and make notes. And yeah, that is me, fresh out of college with my automotive marketing degree in hand, in front of proudly displayed to save customers money, 10.9% interest. For those of you that have been in the business as long as I have, a good interest rate was 10.9. A bad interest rate was bank rates 5 and 6 points higher. Anyway, as I ascended the ranks to management and achieved my goal of becoming a dealer principal, and no, it was not Harvey Pontiac Buick, it was a Chrysler dealership, it always intrigued me. How many guys and gals follow a winged approach in sales? From the very beginning, I found landing a shopper on the right vehicle will sell a vehicle in minutes, as opposed to everyone else working all shift long trying to do so. There is a better and easier way. My system, designed to maximize time and convert every time, will help you do so. Your focus needs to be on converting 4 out of 5, not 1 out of 5. So just before we start, allow me a moment to familiarize everyone with the platform and set the room. If you're a Zoomer or expert, please bear with me. If you're new to Zoom, it's easy. If you see my lips moving, yes, there is sound. Click join with computer audio, assuming that you're reading the subtitles at the bottom of the screen. If you cannot hear me, look for the microphone icon. This may be in the lower or the lower left-hand corner or the upper left-hand corner of your screen. If it has a red line or a strike through your speakers, like your microphone, because I have the microphones muted for now, then that means your speakers are turned off. And again, you may want to minimize the window, click the pop-up window, join with computer audio, or click on the speaker icon, or go to those advanced settings and go into your sound and test your speakers. To be less disruptive to those around you, think about connecting with earbuds or headphones. This definitely suggests that you are not available while staring at your computer screen. And of course, if the app did not go to full screen, you may do so by clicking the upper right-hand corner to enlarge. And you may want to put up a sign on your desk or hang it on your door if your door is closed that you are in a meeting. But as always, we need to be ready for those friendly buyer interruptions. And of course, these sessions are always recorded. So in the event that we do get a friendly buyer interruption, you will not be left behind. You won't lose out on anything. But for the interest of getting this information right now so that you can apply it immediately afterwards, stay with me. Position your pointer at the bottom of the screen and the toolbar will pop up. Click on the chat button and a window will appear where you can send me a message. That's how I'm saying good morning to everybody. It's good morning to Hamid. Hope all is well. Click the chat button. And of course, as in any class setting, simple rules here apply of being respectful, courteous, and polite. So if you see a question that you know the answer to, Feel free to contribute in the chat window if you see that question pop up. If I ask you to give me a thumbs up or a smiley face, these reactions can be found on the toolbar. Position your pointer at the bottom of the screen and the toolbar will pop up. Click on reactions and you can select the icon of your response. Thanks, Carter. Appreciate that. You get what, and thanks, Jen, you get out of this session what you put into it. So be sure to participate as much as you possibly can. Thanks, Hamid. We really appreciate that. Welcome, Peter and Cole. If you want to passively sit there and just watch, that's fine, but you cannot possibly expect to get the same results that someone who is engaged will by participating and following along. And as it has been for 2.5 decades, my purpose here is to help you improve your vehicle sales and gross profit, which in turn, your income without wandering aimlessly, chasing the latest shiny object in terms of a tactic. And of course, with respect to training, pushing back against management and leadership because you have to deal with an outdated sales training program. That's the perfect definition of misalignment and wasting time. So in short, what I'm going to share with you here is what's really working right now. So let's dig in. Now, as you might be aware, even the thought of doing more in 4 hours than most do in a week, ultimately performing a maximum performance, is a significant hurdle for anyone and a bold statement for me to make. Just about every day, I hear the same questions from salespeople just like you, trying to get more done in less time. And those questions are, number one, are there good apps and technology that can help my automotive career? Number two, what are the best apps out there for automotive or automobile salespeople? And lastly, can I use these apps and technology even if I am not tech savvy? I will address each of these questions as well as several others as we go throughout this session today. So the Manifesto is the all-in-one solution, including all these steps that I make reference to, pardon me, on a regular basis. Let me show you how the Manifesto works real quick. Subscribing to the Manifesto, step number one, if you choose this path, is to watch all modules of this step from our video on demand platform. You can start and stop and pick up on a different computer at a later date and time. I'm talking hours, days, weeks, even months later. I wouldn't suggest you delay it that long, but in the event that that happened, you certainly could. You can pick up on a different computer anywhere there is internet coverage. So you could leave work, pick it up at home, leave home, go to the cottage, the ski chalet, the boat, on holidays. We don't expect you to do that, but I'd be flattered if you told me that you did. As long as you have coverage on any smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop, you can get it. Step number two, in this step of apps and technology, you'll download the apps planner. And here's the difference. Information without action is useless. Face it, we're drowning in information and starving for wisdom. Wisdom is the result of knowing and learning what doesn't work and what does not repeating it over and over again, only doing the things that really do work. So if you can learn from my mistakes because I'm telling you that doesn't work and this does, that's time management. Watching is not actually doing. You must take action to get the results that you desire. That's why you invest. Your investment is time. If you purchase the program, it's time and money to get the results. That's what we're here for. This is about results, not about teaching, not about training, not about learning something, not about that shiny object. The planner will help you do just that. Step number three is where you learn how to register your accounts, where you create pages and post content that attracts buyers who are not influenced by cheap prices and low gross advertisements, thereby creating predictable sales every single month, every year, allowing you to work less and make more, but most importantly, on your terms. So this is the 9th step of our manifesto, and this will ensure that you get more done in 4 hours than most do in a week using leveraging apps and technology. Now, I don't know anyone else teaching material like this, and more importantly, this specific to your role. So the first thing that I want you to do, because you'll prove to yourself the results that you can get, is do a search of your customers. yours and their family members and friends on social and just follow them. You only have to do this once. So yes, it takes a little bit of time to do it, but once it's done, you have them as follows. They may unfollow you if they follow you back. That doesn't really matter. You're still following them, and you can follow the conversations and find out what they're talking about, and that can work into your sales presentation. Now, here's a little hint and a tip when it comes to posting. Facebook, unlike Twitter, discourages hyperposting activity. Facebook discourages hyperposting activity. Twitter encourages it. So you want to pick the platform that you're most familiar with. And if you like tweeting, if you like talking a lot about a lot of things and sharing a ton of information quickly, frequently, then pick Twitter. Don't do Facebook. Facebook will actually penalize you for doing so. You can post as much as you want on Twitter without hindrance or resistance. Twitter followers like being in the know instantly. Then you can add keywords to get included in the conversations that others are tweeting about. There, you've got one action for instant results and less work. You can post on Facebook, but unlike Twitter, you're going to do it less frequently. Now, I just saved you some time as well as learning the application and the purpose for doing so. And we're going to talk more about this very shortly. So I'm sure you know about hashtags too, but do you know that they can make or break your efforts? Look at this dealership. And when you search anything about autos or automobiles on Instagram with this OE in the search function, you'll land on their page, which is terrific. But if you think like a customer and type in the OE and the city, in this case, Kiev, Mississauga, nothing, crickets. Hashtags are keywords that search engine spiders use to help searchers, you and I, find what they want. So you need to use hashtags like a shopper would, and that attracts attention. Word combinations, individual words, names, both ways. Just like OE and city, and then city and OE. Now, I did a search of a Dodge dealer close to me, and I had success. Then thinking like a customer, I typed in where to find a Ram in my city. Shortening the search, I typed hashtag Ram my city. And again, crickets, nothing. This was the very way I did it in the previous slide. Consumers in the know use hashtags to spotlight their search to get them the results that they want. And that's how you become top of mind and the only salesperson that is out there when they're looking for it. This is how internet sales managers are crushing it. So what hashtags would attract your ideal buyer? Hashtags are dynamic, meaning they change with popularity. I have a huge list of hashtags and I keep compiling it. Now, as I post on individual platforms, there's a limitation to how many hashtags you can put in there. So now I have to really decide which ones I want to use, and that gets challenging. What I learned was less is more, and I thought, what? How? Digging in and working on this less is better concept with a ton of trial and error, I figured out some hashtags work better than others. In the process, I discovered where to find the hashtags that really work. So here's the next action to get you results. Open your Instagram app if you like Instagram and you are on Instagram, and I can't believe that you wouldn't be. Click on the search function and type in the keyword or phrase. It's as simple as that. Now, digging a little deeper, by clicking on the tags function to see what hashtags are related to the word or phrase that you searched, will tell you even more about those hashtags that you are using just like a consumer. So now we're taking the guesswork out of what hashtags work or don't, why people don't like viewing social media, why so many say, I don't do social media. Social media doesn't sell cars. Social media doesn't sell anything. It's because you don't know. This is the medium that our consumers are looking at. So we must be there, and you need to know what is working. All the hashtags related to your keyword, phrase, or name will be displayed like a Google keyword search. Now you can copy and paste these hashtags. I would suggest you save them in a swipe file. In the step 9 of the manifesto, I go through it in very detailed order, and there's actually a worksheet for you to complete. You'll be so much more effective this way, as opposed to the spray and pray method of traditional advertising that was nothing better than a money-sucking plan anyhow of guesswork, how we can hopefully bring a customer into the showroom. In the manifesto, your worksheet creates a list of hashtags that are the best for you because you found them. You can test your hashtags even better with an intelligent search. Make sure your efforts are working hashtags, not just guessing. So hashtagify.com is an app that will score and suggest how effective and popular your keywords, names, and phrases are. This site will help you determine the right hashtags, get you the insights so you can plan ahead, create interest by monitoring engagement, track your results. If you can't track it, you can't improve it, for the purpose of selling automobiles, not for any other purpose like vanity and attracting 1 million subscribers and all the terrific books that are written out there. Where's my 1 million subscribers book? It's around here somewhere. I will find it and I'll make reference to that author. And it's great. Super suggestions. But unless you want to be that influencer and only an influencer on Instagram, it's really not effective for us that sell automobiles. We want to sell a car, and that means to be top of mind when somebody thinks about buying. So this site, hashtagify.com, is not free. However, there is a trial period that you can test with first. And don't get distracted by the fee either. Taking the right actions to get results is sometimes worth the fee that they charge. Righttag.com will give you instant suggestions for correct hashtags based on consumer behavior and activity. Righttag.com will tell you the hashtags for text and images optimized for mobile that get attention and results. And we need to read the disclaimer now, gang. I am not sponsored by any of these websites. I did not contact these websites for their use in the program. I've gone through and tested a number of them, and I'm only sharing with you the easiest ones to use, the ones that are most familiar and the fastest to learn, so that we get this information quickly. Because you want to use the right hashtags in posts of similar interests to reach bigger audiences and awareness, especially with those that are interested in what you post. If there is a car show, for instance, or a car event taking place close to you, post about it and use relative hashtags to get seen by event patrons and drive your followers to that event. It doesn't even have to be close to you. The Corvette event that rallies in Wasaga Beach every summer would be excellent for any Chevrolet Corvette dealer to promote. The Jeep Jamborees that happen up in the Halliburton region would be an excellent event. Even if you were the Dodge father selling automobiles, one of my colleagues in the strategy mob at Chatham Chrysler promotes regularly when that event's going on. It reaches that audience and people like seeing that, and that just keeps you top of mind. This is what gets you top of mind with shoppers when they think about buying an automobile, because they've been reading your posts that are interesting. Even somebody who would never dream about taking their $70,000 Gladiator off-road likes to know that somebody else is, and it was engineered for that. You know, anyone reading your post is looking for a shiny, newer, technologically advanced vehicle with a full warranty. They just don't know who to get it from. And you want them to look at you and say, you're the person. This is how internet managers are crushing in sales. There's a free version of righttag.com, but the service is similar to Hashtagify, not free. So now you have a robust list of hashtags. You know how to curate content, and you know the importance of posting to overcome obscurity. So you're probably adding up all the time it'll take to put these hashtags in your profile. Relax. It's easier than cut and paste. In the manifesto, I have a simple 6-step process to create shortcuts, posting like a pro in minutes. So I'll tell you what, I'll share with you right now how that works. And these are the steps. On your smartphone, settings tab, open general, open keyboard, access text replacement, and add a new phrase. It's as easy as that, right? Yeah, I know. On your phone, open settings, open general, open your keyboard, access text replacement, and add a new phrase. Let me show you how it works. Here are the steps in slow motion. The following images are of my device. I'm an Apple fan, have been since 1986. Don't hold that against me, and don't try to talk me out of it. Open the settings of your device. It's the same on all of them, fortunately, regardless of the brand. Open general in the settings tab. Now, you may have to scroll down to access your keyboard. You'll want to open that function too. So click on keyboard, and then we're going to click on text replacement. In the upper right-hand corner of the text replacement, there is a plus sign. Click on the plus sign. Now you'll copy and paste your proven, verified hashtags. That's it. Now you have proven hashtags to help you post and deliver to a pipeline of interested shoppers that will enter your sales funnel anytime they think of buying. I don't think you're getting the most important part. I just created a magnificent shortcut for you to save time. You've done your research on the hashtags that work. You've collected them and held them in one place on the keyboard. You've created a shortcut to be able to post at any time and add all those dynamite hashtags that work, because anyone will trade their vehicle, buy a shiny, newer, technologically advanced automobile with a full factory warranty if they knew how affordable it was. And they just don't know who to trust, to believe, to do that for them. That's the reason why we want to be social in media. Browsing their favorite apps and what they like to look. And hey, we search, it has been said, we search a mile of screen flicking with our thumb per week. Isn't that incredible? This activity crushes your competition because average ordinary salespeople are patiently waiting for the up bus to stop by. This shortcut is crucial to your time management and personal productivity. This is how I can say you can get more done in 4 hours than most do in a week, in a month, and never, ever. Those that are waiting for the up bus never do any of this. And the purpose of posting is to overcome obscurity, being top of mind. The old way of doing so was to spend your way to recognition. Hey, if you want to try that, you certainly can, but it could take you a fortune to do so. I know, because I've tried. So the simple and easiest way to overcome obscurity is to be social. Follow my simple rule of 3s. 1/3 about you, 1/3 about your industry, 1/3 about your product. That's the strategy. You see how the tactics are always aligned? I keep saying that. The tactics must be aligned in order to form a strategy. When somebody says, I've got a strategy for social media, ask them, what are your tactics? Here it is. 1/3 about you, 1/3 about the industry, 1/3 about the product. That's as simple as it is. If you don't know what to post, it's as simple as this. I know what you're thinking too. And you're going, Bill, shoppers don't buy because of social media. Or shoppers, worse, if you say shoppers don't buy on social media. Really? Actually, I would agree with you. They don't buy on, but they will buy because they saw your posts. I go through the very same thing. Posting 4 times a day, 6 days a week. It's not easy to find that much material. But here's the other thing. You find the posts do really well and you repost them every 90 days. People have a short memory, like a goldfish. It's absolutely fantastic. Maybe the hurdle you have is to jump with respect to advertising being unchanged, but the medium the shoppers utilize to get the message of shiny new technologically advanced, more fuel efficient and warranted, it's just simply different. The medium is different. The message is still the same. So why wouldn't you expect to get calls as soon as you post with the hashtags, get more for your trade, we have inventory, or eventually blow out pricing? Well, that depends on your post. If you shout, buy my stuff, today's a great day to buy my stuff, take advantage of our short distance or our shortcoming soon to end program. Am I helping or hindering your decision to act on this top of mind activity through apps and technology? Well, here's the simple truth. You want results. And I know you're anxious to pitch your fantastic pricing, magnificent trade-in values, but you may not want, or your customer may not want to go down that avenue yet. They may not have finished their shopping process. Yeah, lots may have, and you'll get those few. So the message on social that you're blasting out to the entire world who may not be ready to buy yet is a commission breath. That's why those that dive deep into social never see the benefit of it, because they start and they stop, because their customers only heard them say, low interest rates, only 3 left, get in fast before the end of the month, residual rates are going down, payments are going up, you need to act fast. Some of it'll work with a shopper that's really ready to buy, but it turns out the not so ready shoppers, you scare them away. And we've learned forever, they'll unfollow you. So what you want is a pipeline of shoppers, not just a little trickle. Unquestionably, to this day, the best call to action is to call you. So in every post, clearly display your website and tell them on Instagram to click on your bio. Instagram doesn't like you putting your website in your post. But shoppers want different information, we've learned, don't they? So what are shoppers looking for? Well, obviously price, that's the top of their list, but trade-in, well, that comes kind of close to price. They also want to know what's the incentive right now. And I think top of mind, especially now, is availability. Do you have it? And a lot of them are looking for pre-owned, aren't they? Still, pre-owned is very popular. Well, my suggestion here for you with Instagram would be to create a Linktree account, because you can't answer all those questions in your post. You're going to want to pick one of those elements, such as we are looking for trade-ins like this in these years and this particular model. And you don't want to go on and say, we've got great pricing on the new ones, and we've got terrific incentive on the new ones, and we've got 3 that are available sitting on the ground. Blah, that's commission breath. Nobody wants to see or read that in the newspaper, listening to it on the radio, watching it on TV, and the same stands true for social. So the Linktree application is dynamite, because we can't post our website in our post, but we can do so in our bio. And then in your Linktree account, you can put on their website, your landing page, if you've got a squeeze page or a sales funnel going, if the dealership has that. You can include your Facebook page, you can include your Twitter account, and you can get them into your sales funnel with call me or view inventory or schedule an appointment or learn more. The reason most average ordinary salespeople never stop or can never stop taking floor traffic is that they don't take the time to build a pipeline to learn what for customers to be able to learn what you have to offer. Hey, Carter, great. Really appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Linktree promotes their app as the only link you need, connecting your audiences with all your content with just one link. Linktree is a free service. So you can create calls to action instead of simply call me. You can offer choices through buttons like appraise my car, best price, check inventory, call for a quote, all squeezing and funneling customers to contact you. Remember, when shoppers are presented with choices, they feel like they're in control. They make decisions based on your decisions. Genius, eh? You decide what the button does, all in one convenient Linktree app. Connect your Linktree wherever your audience is, Facebook, Snapchat, and it'll help them discover your content. Linktree is a launch pad to your latest video, article, journalist impression, demonstration, your dealership, the website, and all of your other social connections. It's everywhere you are online. The apps planner will have you creating a Linktree in seconds, a Linktree account, or populating your Linktree account in seconds. The app spreadsheet will help you design the buttons that get shoppers to act. So are you getting anxious to grow your exposure? I'm a student and relentless in the pursuit for the one thing that will increase my sales and help you too. In fact, I was the first dealer in my region and group with Chrysler to have my pre-owned inventory online. It was just a bulletin board, no pictures, just a description and a price. That was a long, long time ago, especially relative to technology today. Primary media then was analog, newspaper, radio, and television. Extremely limited, short life cycle, and very expensive. There was no free or organic option other than word of mouth. So let's talk about the mechanics of a digital pipeline: hosting, editing, advertising, storage, and sharing. There are two ways to leverage messaging to reach an audience. If a picture tells 1,000 words, video is priceless. YouTube is the powerhouse with live stream and recorded, including now shorts to compete with Instagram and Snapchat. The apps planner teaches you how to do so. The apps and technology spreadsheet teaches you to do more in less time. This is where doing more in 4 hours than average ordinary salespeople do in a week and a month really makes sense. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a lot of work, Bill. Oh my gosh. You may feel a little alone and therefore overwhelmed. Well, then join the private members group of our mastermind and network for guidance and direction with other salespeople, not just me teaching you what works and what does not. If you want to be social, and we are social, and we are a community connected and leverage these magnificent resources, you just simply have to do it. So live stream is native or camera verite, meaning you film it. True reality TV. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat are all similar versions. And if you've done any of those, or if you are a patron to those, then you know how easy it is. And it should sound easy. And I hope you think it sounds easy, because it really is. If you can do a dynamic presentation, that's the hard part. Doing a dynamic walk around presentation, then film it. It's as easy as grabbing your smartphone and pressing the button. Public speaking is your dynamic presentation, which is the greatest fear of most people, even professional actors and entertainers. They need to be coached through it on a regular basis. That's hard to believe. So I hope that's not you. And a camera, by the way, amplifies that anxiety. I know, because I live it. You must get over that. Video is so powerful and dynamic. The app spreadsheet will help you host video presentations of features and benefits, facilitating an expert walk-around presentation. The service department, your service department, you can film them doing maintenance schedule or scheduling maintenance visits. This time of the year, it's winter tire changeover. Springtime, it'll be summer tire changeover time. There is so much available for us. We just need to open our eyes and walk around and film it and post it. It doesn't go out to the whole entire world. Don't worry about that. This is going to your followers. It is contained. Your parts department could do this with accessories, and you could film the installation of such. The reason why running boards make life so much easier, how easy it is to install a tonneau cover, soft, hard, tri-folding, and flip up and stand up. Reaction is best when you do it. But you could dub in a presentation that your original equipment manufacturer paid thousands and even millions of dollars to produce. The opportunities, and I hope you really get this, are endless. And the purpose of that is to create content for you. So the apps planner lists these 7 apps: YouTube, Photify, Image Flip, Logiloku, Legend, Quick, and Animoto. The apps and technology spreadsheet identify video hosting, editing, and storage services for your digital activities. So you may have read, seen, or heard YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine just behind their parent company, Google, and it stands to reason. It makes sense. When you want to know how to do something, where do you go? Google. Google loves YouTube, largely because they own it, but also because there are videos there that people have made to help you figure out how to do something. In other words, YouTube delivers the answer you're looking for via the search that you went to Google to find. Purposeful, correct. So you must be on YouTube because customers love YouTube. Look at the metrics. I only have time to share with you very quickly 8 key performance metrics, why YouTube is significant. You may think that Vimeo is great and you may want to leverage that, or you may only want to do TikTok and Snapchat, and that's fine. I don't want to discourage you from doing anything, but I really need to demonstrate the power of this monster, Google, YouTube, and quite frankly, Facebook. You must be on YouTube because controllers love YouTube and the metrics. The number one metric was that YouTube is the largest search engine in the world next to Google. YouTube is the 2nd most visited website after Google. Where are we here? There we go. YouTube is the 2nd largest social media platform with billions of active users. 70% of YouTube's usage is through mobile and tablets. Every minute, there are 400 hours. And that statistic is probably old because I've put this program together over a year ago. This is very current for all of us learning how to do it, but it's not current in terms of technology. 400 hours of video uploaded from around the world every minute. The YouTube video that has the greatest number of views was or is Despacio by Louis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee. It has over 6.32 billion views. As you well know, a billion is 1,000 million. So that gives you some idea of how often it has been watched. The last time that I checked it, actually, it in fact had 6.32 billion. Despacio took 97 days, only a quarter of the year, to get to 1 billion views, while the video that it conquered to achieve that record was Gangman Style. If you're old enough to remember Gangman, Gangman took 5 months to get to 1 billion views. This is the power of video right now. The first video to get to 1 million views was an advertisement by Night by Ron Lino. And the most subscribed channel on YouTube last year was T-Series, PewDiePie, Pie, and 5-Minute Crafts. So the relationship between impressions to clicks is probably your next most significant key performance indicator. Your Apps Planner spreadsheet will easily and clearly demonstrate those metrics. And as I talk, please read the slide of those metrics. I'm not going to identify each individually. Some say metrics are simply vain and vanity. I'm not sure, but I do know this. The more people that see your stuff, the better you stand a chance of selling. Unquestionably, overcoming the obscurity, being top of mind. You'll want to start with a YouTube channel and not be discouraged by the small metrics that it actually delivers, because this in fact serves you very well. To the bullet point number 1, views below 1,000 have the best click rate. Views below 1,000 actually have the best click rate, but clicks do not mean sales. To the bullet point number 4, 1 million views, even at a lower click rate, will do better, reach more people, but 90% of those clicks may not be your buyer. So what's the point of putting all that effort or money into getting lots of clicks and having a huge audience if you're not getting the buyers? So be wary of the metrics. And that's why some say they're just vanity. This is why I created the program for you. I'm only going to share with you what works. What really works well is a drip sequence of email using video. This has been proven to be far more successful getting your emails open. You want to consider adding an email to your email campaign. If you don't have an email campaign and it is not an amazing, glitzy, wild, fandangled thing, it's as simple as chasing down buyers who are ghosting you. You get them back into your sales funnel when they're ghosting you, not answering your calls, by sending them a drip of email. How to get more for their trade? By staging their trade. Tell them to vacuum it, clean it, wash it, wipe down the wheel wells, pull everything out of the glove box, leave only the owner's manual in, put both sets of keys and fobs on the key ring, run the car out of gas so the gas light is on, armor all the whole dash down, drive it in on a sunny day. That's how you get more for your trade. Make it look amazing. And why out of gas? Because the used car manager, the used car buyer, goes out there, has a look at the car, and he lifts up the floor mats and it's clean as a whistle, and he opens the trunk and there's nothing in there, and he sees the gas is on E, and he says to you, we're not letting this guy walk. He's trading right now. Like, they are so ready. There's nothing in this car, and they love it because they can see it on the front line. It'd be like selling your house. Do you leave all the pictures up all around of your family on their Disneyland vacation? No, that's the first thing the real estate agent will tell you to do. Declutter this place and take all those personal pictures down. That's a drip email sequence. You can talk about how to have better credit. You can talk about how to get better fuel economy. We just passed Thanksgiving. You can tell them how to cook a turkey. That's a drip email sequence. And the best part is you film it. You don't even write it. You could film a number of helpful tips and techniques. For instance, you could learn how to build and price your dream vehicle, notifying shoppers of your production cycle. How about this one? Here's another one for you. Everybody loves being in the know. It's like a secret. Oh, they're going to learn something new. Check out my buddy, General Motors Jeff, another one of my colleagues in the strategy mob. He posts spy photos of every single Silverado that he sells. And the one that got the most hits was the supercharged 600 horsepower Silverado truck to compete with the TRX and the Raptor. Your OE always has a video library that you can leverage by reposting and sharing. So you don't even have to make this stuff. You can just reshare it. But when you brand it like General Motors Jeff does, now you're top of mind when somebody thinks about doing it. This is how you get your name out there, you guys. It's not hard to do. And wow, that time flew by. Maybe I talked too fast. Did I talk too fast? I hope not. I thought we were going to go right up to 11 o'clock, but I'm glad we didn't. So gift the time. We've got 15 minutes before the 11 o'clock hour, and I've got more than an hour and 15 minutes now to address all your questions. Please put these Thursday 10 a.m. sessions, Eastern Standard Time, on your calendar. If you're interested in the manifesto, call, email, or personal message me. You can text me as well on the telephone number displayed on the screen there. You can visit my website to book a call to see if you would be a good fit for the manifesto. If you'd like to know more about my coaching and mentoring program, again, go to my website and book a discovery call. To get the most out of this time that we spend together, go to the Mastermind Private Members Facebook group for those of you that are in and enrolled in the manifesto program, and post what you've learned here. And more importantly, please post your wins, what you learned here, what you did, and how you had success with it. Because if you're having success with it, somebody else can benefit by that as well. Remember, a high tide raises all ships. Don't worry about giving away your secret. There's not enough out there that are going to steal it, and it's going to become generic, like the private sale event. That is not going to happen to us. I'd love it to. And I know you don't want it. You want to keep it as your competitive edge. not to worry. So go to that private members Facebook group. It's an exclusive group. You have to be accepted in, you have to be a client, and share with other like-minded salespeople what is working. Now, does anybody have a question or a comment? You've got me. You're welcome, Rebecca. Thanks so much for joining. Anybody have a question or a comment for me right now? A win. Anybody have a win? Text me in a win or use your microphone to unmute yourself and share with me a win you've had recently. Anybody have a win? I'm going to take a drink of water, waiting for you to respond. Anybody not sure, not clear on what I did share with you in apps and technology? Certainly, you're going to want to go and try those apps. And I don't expect you to have a question about how it works and where you start and what all is involved. They're really easy. If you can't, in today's day and age of development, if you can't create the app with just one click, the right-hand click of your mouse, then it's probably next to, I wouldn't say useless, but next to not being used. So app designers are fully aware of that. If it isn't user friendly, it just will not survive. There's just too many great designers out there asking us as consumers, what do you want? There's no general setting. So in settings, and there's no general setting on your phone. Is that what you're telling me, Peter? So on my phone, I'm hoping this will show up. Now mine's an iPhone. It's right there at the top. And if I scroll all the way up, there we are. So you got to be in settings. And then you scroll down to general. And it's not in Google. Anybody else have a Pixel? Anybody else have a Google Pixel that they can share with us where general is? Now, Peter, the other thing that you can look for there is we're creating a shortcut. So you could look for keyboard under your settings, go to keyboard. I know in mine, I have to go to general in order to access keyboard, but keyboard's just below date and time, fonts, language, reason, and dictionary. I'm taking that as a joke, Mark. I'm not sure if that's the case, but you lost the password. Well, you need the password to get into the phone to be able to access those settings, but that yeah, let's start with that, Peter. Let's make sure that pardon me, Mark, let's start with the password for Peter. Make sure that he has it. But I'm assuming Peter's no silly guy. He knows how to access his phone and get his password. I can look that up for you as well. Happy to do so. Carter gets it too. Good. Where are those reactions? Where are my reactions? I don't have them because I'm the host. So you can use the smiling face. You can use the laughter one on that as well. That is great. And I'm just reading Craig's. Every single one of us should script and film one another, demonstrating tips and techniques known to us within the industry, help increase the value and potential incoming trade. Talk about value. Absolutely. Like there's a ton there. Thanks, Craig. Dynamite. Demonstrating tips. That's one for content. Techniques for using a lot of the features on automobiles. That's another one. Increase the value of customers' trade appraisal, right? Like people don't stage their trade. It's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm an independent dealer. I still have a lot to this day. I don't work at it quite frequently, but I go in to make sure that I'm testing this material for all of you, that it actually works. And I'm flabbergasted. The number of people that drive in, dirty car, tires aren't armor-alled, engine bay looks horrid, there's a Tim Hortons coffee cup in the cup holder. Smokers, if you've got someone who smokes cigars, cigarettes, and I know you're not supposed to now, but recreational drugs, if that vehicle smells of that, if it has an odor to that smell, tell your client, look, my used car manager, whether they smoke or not, doesn't matter. You just tell them they're not a smoker. Or our customers, if you don't want to tell that little white lie, then tell them our customers don't want that smell. So rent an ozone machine and put it in your car overnight and then bring the car in. It just represents the vehicle so much better. Like it's such an easy thing to do. And when we think like a customer, we can create dialogue. We can create a little worksheet on that, and you just drip it out as content. That customer goes into ghost mode after 1 week. You'll have one, how to get more for your trade. Another email about how to protect your credit. Another email about scams. Watch out for these scams. And it could be anything. It could be, a scam is top of mind for me. My mother-in-law, sadly enough, got the phone call last night that her grandson, my son, was in jail and needed bail money. Well, as any great grandmother would do, thinking that the parents don't know anything about it, she went and got the money. And she got scammed horribly, lots of money. And we just found out yesterday, because she called to say, is Cole out of jail? I laughed. I looked at Cole and he's like, what? And of course, my wife, she knew really what was going on. So you could talk about $9,000, Peter, $9,000 they asked for. And they're really tricky. So here's the new trick. You know how before, if you've watched any YouTube videos on this, you take the money to somebody's house and you drop it off, and that's a mule for the scammers. Now we all know that scam. They tell you just to put it in an envelope and put it in your mailbox at the front of the house, and they'll pick it up. It is just horrid. But you could create this time of the year, as we move forward to massive advertising, because of the time of the year, Christmas coming along, Black Friday coming along, it gets everybody in a buy mode and a little bit of a frenzy, and there's too many things going on at once, and you can help people avoid the scams that happen during high shopping seasons. You could have another email go out on your latest and greatest technology of what that might be. So if it's electrification, and there is I'm starting to see, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see a lot of pushback against the electric automobile now. Someone sent me an email this week, I think it was Tuesday, that stated it takes 50 barrels of oil to produce a 1,000-pound electric battery for an automobile. Well, just to give you some idea, the Mach-E battery weighs almost 3,000 pounds alone. So it would take 150 barrels of oil in order to produce that, where it takes 1 barrel of oil to run a vehicle for a year. So there's, as we move forward, as your particular manufacturer is moving forward into a fully electrification strategy, or a very significant electrification strategy, you want to settle some of those fears of these negative pundits who are saying, no, it's not a good idea, and promoting, all the wonderful, magnificent features that go along with that. For the first time in history, and I'm a motorcycle enthusiast, particularly off-road, and I race a race called the Corduroy Enduro, which happens in Gooderham at the end of September every year. The first time in history, they had an electric motorcycle category, which just is fantastic. Rather than fighting this, why don't we embrace it? It's not going to be for everybody, unquestionably. And Craig says the 1/3 rule. So this is the rule of 3. And you will post 1/3 about your product, 1/3 about you, and 1/3 about your industry. Or you could do 1/3 about your product, 1/3 about your dealership and all the great work. And that could fall right into about you, and 1/3 about the industry in general, how we're changing, how we're developing, some of the charitable events that are giving back. The purpose of the third is to create that strategy to make building the content on a regular basis easy to do. Really easy to do. And then the second part of the equation, Craig, is from a time management and a personal productivity perspective. When you watch the metrics of how many people viewed that post, for instance, if one post gets 10 views and another post gets 180, you save that 180 post for reposting 90 days, 6 months. You can even do it a month later. You know, we have a very short attention span when it comes to social media and scrolling through these things. I do not believe a lot of people remember exactly what that was, but you'll pick the post. And if you follow me, you'll probably see something. You go, huh, that looks familiar. That looks vaguely familiar. Kind of like a deja vu experience, right? And that's probably because you may have seen it before. And if you are looking at it and saying, wow, that looks really quite familiar, then it means you've seen it several times. And that is a strategy in advertising that you and I learned about called spotting. And it's a tactic that Canadian Tire uses extensively with their advertisement every single week. And they've taught many other retailers to do it as well. So that ad, they've always got something on sale. And then of course you go to see that item that you thought you might want to buy on sale, and Thursday, it's not featured anymore. You're like, dang, I lost it. Well, if you wait long enough, it comes right back around on sale. And that's spotting, but creating the familiarity top of mind. So it makes it really easy for that buyer to say, okay, that's who I go to see. As usual, Craig, a long-winded explanation by Bill Harvey. Sorry about that. I got carried away. Any other questions, comments that anybody has? Any other questions, comments anybody has? Excellent. Well, dynamite. With that, then, gang, I am going to talk slowly just before I wrap this up. You're welcome, Mark. It was a pleasure. Don't forget to put these events on your calendar. Thursdays at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every single week. I look forward to seeing you then and completing your manifesto as we move forward, move along. Have a fantastic day, an amazing weekend, and a terrific finish to the month. I look forward to speaking to all of you again next week. Bye-bye for now.